Welcome to the DL Gaming Podcast. I'm Bobby.
I'm Nick.
I'm your sticky controller button.
Gross.
Dude, it's not sticky, so sticky that you have to throw the controller away. It's just, every 15th press, it fucks up, and you just can't pull yourself to clean it out. That's what I'm talking about. You ever taken one of those apart, controller?
A controller? No.
To clean it or whatever, or anything?
I have.
Yeah. Did it work out?
Yeah, but then again, it's really gross, especially when you're like 14 and everybody like that is playing on your shit, and then you open it up and there's just fucking gunk of every kind of Cheeto imaginable and all this other shit. You're like, dude, this is the second player controller. Like, what the fuck?
If you think about it, dude, they are one of the most used apparatuses and just keep on ticking. I mean, cell phones are probably number one as far as like time of use, and they just work for years. It's incredible. But controllers are right behind them, dude. You could just fucking pound on those things forever. They're built really well. So a little controller talk at the top of the show. How's everybody doing? A little information about DLG Con. We sold out the house. Cricket, thank you so much for helping me out with that, because I have no time these days. And so he did everything. Put out the call, put out the bat signal, and everybody paid up right away. So we're sold out at the house, but we encourage you to go to Vegas the weekend of November 5th through 8th. Get a room wherever. I hear there's one or two hotels in Vegas, and you could just drive over. We're like 15 minutes from the Strip, so you can, have a vacation and then stop by and meet us and stuff, whatever you want to do. Just don't be a creep, because I'll kick you out. And you guys want to talk about some video games?
Let's do it. So let's talk about games that have come to our attention recently. First one I want to start off with is a little bit of a correction from a few weeks ago. So when Nick and I played Dead Space 3, we talked about how in that game you construct your own guns out of all these different parts, and there's a lot of variety in the making of guns. And we couldn't remember what that game was where you did that. That really was pretty much the entire game, was constructing these wild and crazy guns. And that game is called Mothership, and it's going to be free on the Epic Games Store.
Mothergunship,
yes. Mothergunship, all one word. It's going to be free on the Epic Games Store pretty soon here, and I saw it on there and immediately recognized it. Now, I didn't play much of this game, but Emilio, I think you played more of it, and it seemed you weren't crazy about it, if I remember.
Yeah, it was fine. There was nothing wrong with it. There's definitely a lot there. It's like an erector set or whatever. There's like a center piece. Now that I'm seeing it, I'm remembering. So the trigger part it's like a Lego, and it has like 5 places that you can add things to it. Mm-hmm. You can go off the sides, you can go up, or you could go straight. And then once you go off to the side with some sort of the pieces that you're unlocking, you have to turn it so that it's you needed like a corner thing so that it's shooting towards the bad guys, and so you make these ridiculous guns, and that's what the whole game's about,
Yeah, that's the big selling point.
Yeah, that's the big selling point.
Yeah,
and it's just like that one screen you saw there, you can get to the point where you can't even see past your gun.
It's taking up the entire field of vision.
Yeah.
All right, so I just wanted to throw that out there. What do you guys got?
I want to say co-op. I want to say me and Chi played it together. I'm not 100% on that, though.
I think you and I might have tried to. I don't know if there's co-op. I can't quite remember.
2-player co-op, I want to say. But, nothing wrong with it, especially for free. Is it free?
Well, it will be soon
Yeah.
on the Epic Games Store.
Yeah, definitely worth the check out then.
Yeah. So what do you guys got on the radar today?
So I've got Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. This is their take on Smash Brothers. I don't recognize a lot of these characters. Obviously, SpongeBob and his crazy crew of folks that he hangs out with. But everybody else, I'm like completely lost. I don't know. That's Nickelodeon after. Mm-hmm. When I was watching Nickelodeon, it was a lot of live action stuff. It was like...
Well, they had Nick at Night where they showed the old stuff. But then other than that, there was Rugrats. Some of the characters I recognized from this was Thornberry. I think the show was called The Wild Thornberries. Real Monsters. Yeah. I don't know if there's a Hey Arnold character in there.
That was after my time. But yeah, they got to get Avatar: The Last Airbender in there. They got to get maybe they're having, I don't know, issues getting them in, or that's the big surprise character. Because that's what happens with these games is the slow release of all these, and it keeps interest coming in.
Yeah.
From what I saw, animation's looking a little rough. I don't know if that's
this
because
is like every fucking Nickelodeon game this happens.
Yeah.
It's like the animations just like look rushed or just bad.
which is so funny because these are all
Oh,
animated
Invader
characters.
Zim. I remember that.
Yeah.
Okay, there's Helga from Hey Arnold. So this game is pretty much Smash Brothers, but with all the Nickelodeon characters.
Exactly.
And it's only going to be on the Switch, right?
That I don't know. I couldn't find a Steam page for it. But there it is. What is this going to come out for?
Yeah, I think it's exclusive for the Nintendo.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn! I should have put it on the radar then. Oh well, we snuck one in there. You goddamn consoles.
God,
I'm selling my Switch, by the way. If anybody wants to buy it.
Really? Are you going to get a new one?
No, it's because I'm going to put that money towards the Steam Deck.
Oh, the Steam Deck.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I can get
Pretty
200. I could probably get a little more. But yeah, because it has a bunch of games.
All right.
Nick, Battlefield Portal. I saw the trailer. I thought it was fucking awesome.
Yep.
But I don't know what it
Battlefield
is.
Portal, do you know anything about this, Bobby?
No. Let
I
me
don't.
know.
Oh, just real quick, it looks like it is coming out for Microsoft Windows, All-Star Brawl.
I was right after all.
Oh,
Take
wow.
that.
Okay. Yeah, Xbox, PlayStation, everything. If it's good, that'll be great because we don't really have a good Brawl game on
Yeah.
PC.
I agree.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be good. I think Valhalla is gonna be better, or is better. Anyways, so back to Battlefield Portal. So this is something I think that they're doing to keep Battlefield players like the retention to be longer, because every time a new Battlefield comes out, it like at least 40% of the player base drops off after like the first month. And so Battlefield Portal is this essentially giving the tools of the playground to the players. Now they've already said that they're going to be having default play modes that will be ready day one, like where you can they're going to be fun out of whack play modes. Like for one thing that they were talking about was let me explain what it is. It's a complete sandbox of the Battlefield engine all the way from World War I to 2042. And the way it works is that all the assets, so all the guns that have been in Battlefield games, will be available in this. All the like the German soldiers, the American soldiers, all those assets will be into the game as well. They've already teased some Battlefield Bad Company stuff. Like in the trailer, one of the soldiers drops a grenade with a smiley face. Big Battlefield Bad Company sign. There's a bunch of maps from all the battlefields that are available, both new and old. And the way it works is that players will be able to make their own game modes and things. And so one that they talked about that's like kind of the most interesting is like a what is it called, where like teams aren't fair, like in the sense of like there's 20 people on one team and 10 people on the other. Asymmetric teams.
Yeah.
That's what it is, right? So it would be like 10 2042 soldiers versus like 30 World War II soldiers.
Yeah.
And so like the 2042 soldiers have better armor, obviously, and like they have better guns and they have like drones and stuff, but a Zerg of a bunch of World War II, soldiers is going to be way better. It's going to be just way crazier.
Do you know what the payment structure for this is, Bob, Nick?
No, they didn't say. It says included only with Battlefield 2042. So I think it's something that you just get with it.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
If not, it's probably going to be included in like the EA Battle Pass thingy. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
But they haven't said anything as far as price point goes. It says just included with Battlefield 2042.
Interesting.
I'm super excited about this. In the trailer, there's really funny things like so. In 2042, there's like a robo dog thing, and it has like doesn't look like a dog, but it looks like the Boston Dynamics dog kind of,
Mm-hmm.
and it has like a big old like machine gun on the back of it. But in the trailer, the EOD bot from like current day military like shocks it and kills it.
Huh.
And it's just like stupid stuff like that. There's like a P-21 Mustang chasing like an F-22 Raptor, which would never happen.
Which would never happen. Yeah, it would be.
Yeah.
I think the Raptor
That
could
would-
probably kill it with its exhaust alone. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. It's essentially,
Yeah.
it would just suffocate the engine.
Yeah.
But it's like that's another thing. That's like another proposed game mode that people have been talking about on Reddit, where it'd be like 2 Raptors versus like 30, Mustangs, and
Easy
like, or
pickings, I
like
think.
whatever,
Yeah.
any World War II plane. But like, it seems like a lot of fun. They're kind of leaning into their more like what their players like to do in game. Like after the first 2 weeks of Battlefield, people are trying to do stuff on YouTube, like blow up Jeeps into the air and hit a helicopter and shit like that. And it seems like in this Battlefield, they're kind of leaning into what people do, like where they jump out of a plane when they're losing a dogfight and shoot a rocket at the plane behind them and then jump back in. Like that was in the trailer. So I don't know. It looks like a lot of fun.
So
It's so fun looking that it got me playing Battlefield 1 again. So
which you're going to talk about in a little bit, right?
yeah,
Would have been a great segue if we timed it better, but unfortunately. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, I watched this trailer, and what I really liked about it is, a lot of the times these trailers, they're pushing for, look how realistic this looks, and like this 100% is pushing the video game-ness and the possibilities that you can do, just off the wall craziness, and yeah, exactly like you said, timeline mixing and stuff, which, yeah, this is exciting. Cool.
yeah. It like you said, they're not really leaning into the realisticness. I think they've given up that kind of access to games like Tarkov and Arma and stuff like that. So you're like, you know what? We're gonna make a game where people can have fun. It's not too serious, but it's still gonna be, a little bit realistic. But we'll see.
Let's be the arcadey fun shooter, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah, and they're fine with that, and I'm fine with that. We need that. We need Battlefield in this world. Bobby, you got 2 on there.
Yeah, so there's a game called Mini Motorways that came out recently. It's on sale right now, only $8.99. Right off the bat, I saw the artwork for it, and it reminded me of Mini Metro, which was a great little puzzle game from many years ago. This looks very similar. It's a strategy game where you are designing the traffic for a town or controlling the traffic for the town, just designing the infrastructure, the roads, bridges, and it looks great, and the reviews are really good as well. Just like a nice, small little puzzle game.
Aesthetically, it looks great, man.
Yeah, I don't know. It's got a very simple kind of art style to it, and it looks a lot like Mini Metro. I almost wonder if it was from the same company, but I don't think so. I don't recognize this developer, Dinosaur Polo Club. Oh, it is. Okay.
It is. Boom.
Mini
there
Metro.
it is.
Yeah. And Mini Metro is a great game. I think at one point it was free on mobile, so a lot of people found it on there. But it starts off, that game gets very difficult very quickly.
You can see the progression graphically, for sure. It looks like the same game, but just prettier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like pastels and just nice shapes.
Yeah. Yep. So I don't know. I might be checking that out soon. Price point is pretty good. Just came out July 20th, so pretty fresh.
Cool.
No, had no idea this was coming.
Did you
out.
mention the price?
Yeah, it's $8.99 on sale right now. Cool. Normally, I think it's like $10.
Nice. Life is Strange True Colors. If I think that I'm counting this right, this would be their 4th Life is Strange. There was the original game. There was a prequel, which I didn't play. There's the sequel, which I have installed and I haven't played it. I'm thinking about how I'm going to play that because I want to get Sam involved. I think I'm going to have her play it when we have free time, and I'll watch her. I think that's probably what I'm going to do. I haven't done that yet with a game. And I know these are good games. They're both. I don't know about the prequel, but Life is Strange and Life is Strange 2 are both overwhelmingly positive. I really enjoyed the first one. I cried. It's one of the few games that made me cry. And yeah, so this is the 4th one. It's called True Colors. I would say it's part 3, but because it's a full-on game. You're a girl who moves into a small town after her brother had died there. So he had a life, and he knew all the locals. She came. I don't know why she came there. Maybe just get some answers. Turns out, obviously, something's afoot. She has the ability to. She's empathic. She can tell what people are feeling, the emotion that they're feeling, not read their minds. So that I think that opens a lot of dialogue openings, and there's a lot you can do there. You don't know if they're lying, but you know that they're scared, right? So it might make you think one thing or another. So yeah, I think that's pretty exciting. And yeah, so I'll be playing this eventually, and it's good that to know that they're making enough money to keep pumping these out, because I think they're the only one. They're the only AAA, AA studio that's making games like this, and we need somebody out there doing what do you call it? Kind of like story focused games. What would you call this? Because we lost the Telltale games, kind of. They're gone. So this is pretty much it as far as like choose your own adventure game.
What did they call these games? They had a name for them, not visual novels.
Oh my God, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but the only way to do it, have really good like the graphics are good, but they're not like, this is not the selling point. The story is just, that's what sells these. And they've been good in my experiences.
Now, are they doing 5 episodes per game still? Because I only played the first one.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I do have to mention this. So I'm like, oh yeah, Life is Strange. Mila, go ahead and play it. Like, I have it installed. Go ahead and play it. It'll be fine. And so she's playing on my computer, and she's like, yeah, that's really good, Dad. I was like, yeah, cool. And I'm over there watching. And Sam comes down, and she goes, what, is that game appropriate? And I was like, yeah, it's fine. It's teenagers, whatever. And she's like, she looks it up, Life is Strange 2, rated mature, mature plus 17 or something. I was like, oh, yeah, I look like a fucking asshole. And yeah.
I'm confused on the price here. They've got a lot of bundles, but I don't see how much this game costs.
Because I don't think there's a price on this game yet. I don't think or have they? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, because that says like $80 Canadian, but that can't be right.
Yeah. Can that be right?
Well, that's part of a bundle that has Life is Strange.
Right now, it looks like you can only pre-purchase it in the bundle. So I think that's why it's so high right now. This is like a deluxe pack. This is a deluxe upgrade and a skins. I don't know.
Oh, it's a deluxe pack. Somebody call Ray.
Well, the first game, I know they give away the free episode, or the first episode for free.
Yeah.
And then you can pick up the other ones after that.
Which is a good way of selling it. But, dude, like, I don't see. There'll never be a day that I play these and wait for the next episode. Wait for them all to be out and just play them all through.
All right, last game I wanted to talk about is not too far from this. It's called Call of the Sea, and it is a puzzle adventure game from the first-person perspective. And you play a character who is exploring, I believe it is a tropical island in the South Pacific. So beautiful scenery. The reviews are pretty good. It reminds me a little bit of that. What was that puzzle game by the guy who made Braid?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking about.
Yeah. I mean, that was a little more serious on the puzzle side. Jonathan Blow's a game. I can't remember what it was called.
God damn it, Bobby.
Yeah, it's a big deal. But it kind of reminded me of that, but also it's got a little bit more of the Firewatch type of graphics. Now, Firewatch, great game, but it's pretty much, there's not very many puzzles in that.
No.
It's more of a walking simulator. But the...
Christian is trying to find out what game that is by messaging Jonathan Blow directly instead of just Googling it. Google it, dude. It's killing me. It's killing me over here.
But I like this. It looks a little bit Indiana Jones-ish, and it's got puzzles, which I really like. A lot of times these games, the puzzles are extremely light. It's just a walking simulator. You just enjoy the scenery and the story, and that's it. But I like that they actually put the puzzles in this. And from what I hear, the Witness, that was the game we were trying to think of. The Witness.
Christian, can you click on Out of the Blue Games, the developer of this? I want to see what else they've made.
Looks like it.
Yeah. The Witness was, very similar to this, but it was a puzzle game, but the puzzles were all within the same rule set. They didn't vary too much. Did you play it, Bobby?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was just kind of like almost like a Sudoku thing, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
It was pretty challenging, but
no, it was hard. Yeah.
It was a great game.
Yep.
There are definitely some really easy puzzles when you get to these kind of games, like at the end. I think The Witness was the one that was on PS4 as well, and like sometimes in the beginning of the game, like you have extremely hard puzzles, and then at the end of the game, you have extremely easy puzzles, and it's like really not balanced. As weird as that sounds.
I want to. I finished The Witness.
I know Chad did. I remember going over to, when you guys lived together, I went over to the house and he was just finishing it and we were all watching the ending of it. But there's multiple endings, quite a few endings. So we watched one of them. And to what you were saying, Nick, I remember in The Witness, you have access to a lot of different puzzles. You don't do them in a specific order. You are kind of gated, if I remember correctly, between certain areas. But you can kind of do them in whatever order you want.
What's this called again? Not The Witness, but the other.
Call to Sea. Oh, Call of the Sea.
Call of the Sea, brought to you by The Witness. That's it for On the Radar.
All right. Let's talk about Rogue Company. So this was a requested game of the week. And I thought we were going to talk about it next week, so I didn't play it. But let's hear what you guys got to say about it.
You didn't miss much, dude.
So I had I think I have the perfect metaphor for this game. You know when you're a kid and you go to like a restaurant or something, and you're like, hey, it'd be a good idea if I mixed all of the sodas together.
Oh yeah, suicide. Used to do that at Costco.
This is what
all
this
the time.
game is.
You know what I thought it was they took a heavy inspiration from Valorant, didn't they? I mean,
yes,
that's
it is
basically
undoubtable.
It's basically what they want to be.
Well, it says, so I'm reading the description. It says the ultimate third-person tactical action shooter. So what are you doing in these matches or these games?
I was playing the main one.
I was playing the same game
Siege or whatever. You have this level. But you and it's just a capture point, right? But the capture point moves between rounds. So that's the part that's supposed to keep it fresh, I guess, because there's different like entry points and stuff like that. You got to figure that out. And that's pretty much it. So there's a pretty big map. Think of it like a Counter-Strike map. But instead of like planting the bomb at A or B, you're just fighting over A. And then the next round, it'll switch to B. That's pretty much it. But I think it might be random.
So you're just trying to hold the
explanation of the game mode is like it's like domination in Call of Duty, but you have limited lives.
Yeah. Like you have tickets.
Controls the center point until the timer's down, you win. So.
And every it's a little bit of but the longer you hold a point, the more points you're gaining, right? But the biggest problem with this game is nobody's playing it. I play it against a bunch of bots and maybe one other person. And, I was ending up with like ridiculous scores. Like,
it's free to play on Steam. It's free to play on Epic. Yeah. This game's out there. And maybe we can check the Steam charts and see how many people
When I checked the Steam charts, it said 0 because I had just logged off because I was the one guy, dude.
That doesn't seem right.
I didn't think so
This
either.
game just came out July 20th.
Yeah. And they have a front page on Steam. That right there will give you 1,000 people at least.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it says 8,300 people were playing 43 minutes ago.
Yeah, I thought it was very strange too. And one of the people from our Discord, he's from the EU, Nickelodeon or something like that. I think you played DLG with him, Bobby.
Yeah.
Yeah. He said, I got plenty of people. They're like, it's fine. Everything's good. And I was like, yeah, I don't know what's going on. So I deleted the Steam version and I loaded up the Epic version. Same problem. Just playing against bots.
Maybe it's all Europeans playing. I don't know. Maybe there's something in the filters when you're looking for a game where you can choose to only play with real people, or do they have like a server list, or how do
No,
you
because
join
every once in
games?
a while there'd be a person in my game.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
Well, there's people out there playing this game apparently.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I mean, even playing against bots, you can get a sense for the game. It felt a little janky to me. It's from High Res Studios, which I want to support because they made Spite. But it's kind of since Smite, I feel like it's been kind of like a slight downwards trend. They tried Paladins, it didn't really take off, and then now they're doing this.
And then there was that other battle royale game that they had that really took off, and then they ruined it by trying something.
Yeah.
And everyone dropped it in a second.
Yeah, Realm Royale.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, jeez.
And yeah, High Res, we all played a lot of Smite and really enjoyed that game. But the games that they had before that were awful as well. Global Agenda, I think, was one. They had something where you could get a skin in Smite if you played 30 hours of Global Agenda. So I did it. Or not 30 hours. If you reached level 30, which took me about 30 hours in Global Agenda.
You did that for a skin. Was that for Amir?
No, it was a skin for, who was the guy who laid down the turrets?
Vulcan.
Yeah, Vulcan. Yeah.
That was my guy, dude. One of my guys.
Yeah. But Global Agenda was not a good game. So Smite is just the only thing that they've had that's been successful, unfortunately.
And you know what sucks about that, dude, is they're taking that Smite money and just kind of like squandering it on things. I mean, they're trying. They're trying. I just don't see this being anywhere ever getting near Valorant. But Valorant's what, $20? Right? Am I right there?
Yeah,
I think so. And I feel like you're getting so much more of a polished experience. There was things that I liked about this game. I felt like the shooting was fun. It was arcadey. It was fun. The mix of the you could actually combat roll towards people and like melee them, and it would actually work from time to time because you usually don't do that in games. Like you don't roll towards people. But I had a katana and I was like slashing people up, but most of the time they weren't people. Some of the times they were, but most of the time they weren't. And so I had a really hard time getting a game. I can't give it a fair review, but based on what I played against who I played, I don't see it being actual humans saving this game.
Yeah, no, I think there's too many aspects trying to be like too many other games. You can tell that the combat is very Division-like. If you've ever played The Division.
You see health bars and you see numbers coming up. You see how much damage you're doing, and you have a special ability.
Like the characters left are at the top of the screen, so that's very obvious. Like there's a bunch of different things that show up, and you're like, oh, that's this game. Oh, that's this game. Like you can kind of point out like what are the main issues with the game. Not only like not playing with anybody, but there's also plenty of like, I don't know, just shortcomings on like what really happens in the game as far as like, okay, we just run that round and two of the real opponents just left and now it's just all bots and now I can't, like, the game's not fun anymore. Because I'd get into lobbies where I'd play and I'd have one person on my team that was real and then two bots, and then on the other team there would be like one or two people and then there would be the rest would be bots. And the most I ever had was 3 people on the other team be non-bots. And it's just like, okay, like it's just not fun, you know?
Yeah. So. It's got to be a bug, dude. If we're seeing these numbers, now.
Yeah.
Maybe they fix it. I don't know. Oh, great butts. The girls have fantastic rear ends in this. I got to say that for sure.
Okay.
Well, it's a third person, so you were looking at their butts quite a bit. And so it's good that they're good.
Well, they give you a free battle pass. That's nice of them, especially on a free-to-play game.
That you can see in this game that are like, hey, please play our game.
Yeah.
Please.
But
don't leave. Come on, please.
It might have been fun, dude. It got a 75 Metacritic. Like, that's not a terrible game, but you will never know because the 1 week we gave your game a shot, your game wasn't ready for us. So no DLG bump for you.
Another thing that got me was the fucking like the tropish characters that you see. Like in Valorant, there's plenty of like unique characters and stuff, but goddamn, like they have the black guy with dreads. That's the medic. I'm like, dude, Outriders or whatever the fuck that game is where you play in the snow and you like they already had that. Like what the like? I'm like, come on, like. There's so many like there's the Asian lady with her like and then there's like with a low cut shirt and a katana. There's your big white dude that's all armored out. There's a big white dude that loves explosives. I'm like, dude, come on, like just have a little creativity. Fuck.
It's got to be hard these days, dude. There's so many. All games have now become a lot of games have become just these character farms because they know that that sells things.
It's sad, but it's true.
Yeah. All in all, even for free, I can't recommend it in its current state. It did not work for me, but if you live in the EU, give it a shot, I guess. Nick had the same issues. Yeah, it's too bad. It did have a couple shining moments, but not enough. There's better stuff out there. Go play TF2. I was looking at when I was on Steam charts, Bobby. I saw that should be our rate. It'll be like buy right now, wait for a sale, or go play TF2. Those are 3 rating systems.
That's the options. Mine would be like buy, wait for a sale, go play Total War.
Yeah, do anything Warhammer related. But yeah. So it's a big whiff from us, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Too bad.
But what I will say, thank you, Cricket, for getting tier 3 in Patreon. We really appreciate it. You didn't waste our time by any means. But if you guys want to make us play any game, we will play any game if you sub to tier 3 on Patreon. So you can do is you can sub, and if you're not part of our Discord, just join our Discord and message Sniper or one of us, or just put it in the description when you sign up on Patreon.
Mobius, you're next. So let us know what you need us to play.
Awesome.
All right. So a game that I was very excited about, released in beta recently this week. It's called Warchief. I'd been talking about this game for a while. It was an RTS, kind of looked a little MOBA-ish as well. It's from a French developer, and I've kept my eye on it for a long time. It's going to be free to play. I signed up for the beta. I think you can still do that right now. It's right on their Steam page. They have a button where you can opt into the beta, and I think you can just get right in. So I had a chance to check that out, and I really liked it, actually. There's a lot of really interesting things they're doing with this game. Now, right off the bat, when you look at it, it looks like an RTS. But what they've done is created a game that is kind of an RTS and kind of a MOBA. They've taken a little bit from each of those genres and kind of mixed them together. So I apologize, but I'm going to have to explain some mechanics here. So typically in RTS, right, you construct a building, that building spawns certain units, or you construct a building and you can get upgrades or something. In Warchief, you don't have any of that. You have one building. You have your castle. It's got 2 towers that help with the defense, but really you just have one building, and it's always in the same spot. The object of the game is to kill the other person's castle, and they try to kill yours. You can spawn your units in the castle if you want, or you can spawn them right into the battlefield wherever you have line of sight, and they spawn at half health. So that right there totally changes the game. You can get into a fight with somebody, engage them, and then you can spawn units during the battle if you have a lot of gold. Not only that, you could spawn melee units into their back line, just like that. So the gameplay has shifted drastically from what we're used to as far as positioning goes with RTSs and MOBAs. You do have a hero character. This is where the MOBA side comes in. You have a hero character, and he can cast certain abilities. He has like a mana pool. So it really, this game is very streamlined, and that's what I like about it. And yet it still maintains its complexity. It's a great fit. So like right off the bat, they just give you, okay, here's your hero character. He's got a few abilities, and here is your you get one teleport every 2 minutes, and you get a ward every 1 minute. You don't have to buy it. You don't have to like upgrade to it. Like, there you go, dude. Like, let's just cut through the bullshit. We know everybody needs it. One teleport and one ward. There you go. Now, the other interesting thing that they do about this, and this is where it gets very interesting. So in your typical RTS game, you have, you take like the undead class, or you take the humans, and they have their own specific units and buildings, right? In this version, everybody has access to the same stuff. What you do outside of the game, you're in your menu, you build a deck. Of course, cards. Yeah. It's all about cards, right? You build a deck, and you say, okay, there's like 30 cards, maybe 35 cards as of right now. And you pick, I believe, 8 of them to start with. And so I'll say like, okay, I'm going to take these 3 spells for my hero character, and I'm going to take the monk unit. I'm going to take an archer. I'm going to take this dragon, and I'll take a griffin. And that's it. You go into the game, and you some of them are tier 1, so you can spawn them right away. But those are the units you have access to. So you can really customize your own hybrid, customizable team.
Sounds pretty awesome, dude.
It's great. And here's what's really cool. So when you upgrade, I can't remember what they called it in Age of Empires, when you upgrade to like the next age, like you do the same thing.
Castle upgrades.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. Like you go into the Castle Age, or you go into the Stone Age or whatever. But in this game, you do that twice. When you do that, it gives you an option. Do you want to switch out one of your cards, or do you want to just get a bunch of gold? So what can happen? Say I'm playing in a game here, and my enemy, he keeps going air units. I didn't pick bats, which are like the anti-air units in this game. So when I upgrade my castle, I can swap out, you know what, I'm not using these archers. I'm going to get rid of the archers. I'm going to bring in the bats. Now I can start spawning bats.
So in Magic the Gathering, that's called a sideboard. But usually you have to finish the first game, and then you can bring in your other cards and take out, specifically for this guy. But this sounds like it's happening, well, at a certain stage in the same game, right?
Yeah. Whenever you upgrade, which you can do twice, you upgrade to tier 2, upgrade to tier 3. So you have opportunities to counter your opponent.
And I imagine, okay, so how do you get gold? Just time.
That's the thing too. You don't have to like send orcs out, 5 orcs like on the gold mine. No, you automatically have a gold income, and then you go out and you creep like you would in Warcraft 3. Okay. You go out and you kill creeps. Also, there's another gold mine, and you kill the camp on it, the creeps that are on the camp, and then you just click on it. Like click, 75 gold it costs, and then boom, it starts building the mine, and you start mining. Now the enemy can come over and they can kill your mine, and then they can click on it and retake it. But there's so many things where they just shaved off all the needless extra steps that we're so used to doing in other RTS and MOBA games.
I have a lot of questions, Bobby. So how are you making your groups, and how big are your groups? I'm seeing like pretty massive, like 20 unit.
This is the big problem with the game for me right now, is you can spawn a lot of units, a whole lot. There's a cap on it for each tier. So I think first tier you can spawn up to 20 units. By the end of it, I think you can get up to 70. Of course, some bigger units take up more space.
Can you split tier 1 units into 2 groups and send them into 2 different directions?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. You can control 1, assign to group 1, assign to group 2. You can do all that.
Okay.
The problem that I run into though is if I have, especially with flying units, I have them attacking an enemy unit and they are physically covering the enemy unit. I cannot tell them to attack this other unit because that unit is being blocked. Now,
is that a mechanic that you think they wanted?
I don't think so. This is just a problem that you have in RTS games and MOBAs. This has always been an issue. Now, Warcraft and Heroes of the Storm, they did a really good job, and probably the other MOBAs as well. They did a really good job with handling this. It happened sometimes with Heroes of the Storm. I remember sometimes like I just couldn't click on the thing I wanted my guys to attack because it was being blocked by something, but that was very rare. It happened quite a bit in this game, so I don't know. Hopefully that will get addressed at some point. Plus, it's in the beta stage right now, so there's a lot of things like a lot of stuff hasn't been translated into English yet. Some things are just missing, and there's just like symbols in place of it. It's a beta right now. Now, the game is free to play, so we're all wondering what's the catch, right? They have a season pass that you can get, which I guess works like a lot of other season passes where you level up. The more you play, the more you level up, the more it unlocks. And you get this in-game currency that you can spend on cosmetics. So you can get a different kind of hero character. The hero character does the exact same because remember, it's all about your deck. Doesn't matter what character you get. It's just a skin, You can also unlock cards, but here's the thing. The cards you choose to start with, you have a limited access to them. You have to unlock them if you want to start with them. When you reach the other tiers, you can trade into any card that exists. So you really have access to all the cards, but really if you want to start with certain cards, then you have to unlock those. Now, I played this game for like 3 or 4 hours. I've unlocked almost half of them just from grinding some versus AI games. It's pretty easy. It's not prohibitive at all. But it looks like they're going to try to make their money off the season pass here.
That's really exciting, man. I'm glad.
It seems really like it has a lot of features that can be used to capture a lot of different people's.
It's really the way they designed this game is really innovative, but it's all common sense too. It's just like, yeah, why are we still doing all these pointless things like that are just, because in RTS games it's all about the
actions per minute,
the APM, the action per minute.
Why?
Yeah,
that's where I have to go against you, man. Like I think economy in RTS games are like pivotal, but then again, I'm the idiot that plays fucking Total War, where the economy and the RTS standpoint are
separate. It is, and I'm not going to say one's better than the other, but we've had one for the longest time. Why not
try something else?
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of what I enjoyed about Heroes of the Storm. It's like they got rid of a lot of the bullshit and really simplified a lot of things.
It's like all team fights all the time.
Yeah, it was all action all the time. So in a game like this in Warchief, you can really focus on the combat a lot more, and a little less on like build this building here. Okay, that's buildings in progress. Okay, get this upgrade going over here.
I'm on Bobby's fucking side on this one. Like, and plus I'm really good. I'm really bad. My APM is 3. Like I don't do very much. I just sit there and die.
Well, in order to be competitive in a game like StarCraft or maybe not Warcraft, but in StarCraft you have to like program macros or something. Like I don't understand it. I watch people play
too much,
at the competitive level, and it's a little beyond me what they're doing. But I'm sure with some research I could understand. But it gets to a pretty ridiculous point fairly quickly.
Damn, you good on this, Bobby? Or you have something else you want to say about it?
No, I'm pretty much done. It's looking great. Can't wait don't know when the release date is yet, but check out the beta. You can still get into it. I think it's going for another week.
So talking about grinding and season passes and free to play, Magic the Gathering Arena. Guys, I'm going to gush. I am in love with a game, and that game is called Magic the Gathering Arena. I played this early on, and it was okay. It was in beta, and it didn't blow me away or anything like that. I played it because I have been let down by Magic online for years. It's just there's never been a way. They've never really got a way to make the game fun and for them to also profit. And it's a weird balance. Magic Online was one of their first forays to try to do it. And in that game, there was like an auction house, and the money was still in the game. The people were spending real money for real cards to other people. And so really what ruins Magic a lot of times is the upsell and the black market, if you will. It's not black market, it's aftermarket, the aftermarket. Because, just prices go crazy, and then everybody ends up running about Generally, there'll be 4 or 5 like real decks per season. Nick, probably something like that.
Usually,
Like killer decks.
In the past 2-3 years, it really there really has been a variance in deck building and deck changing
That's
and
good.
stuff like that.
I wouldn't know.
I will say, like your time, it was like really just 3 or 4 decks, if that.
But this does everything right, 100%. If you're a new player, first of all, it's great to get in right now because a new set just came out, and that set happens to be based on D&D, like D&D, which is great. It has because I got into D&D this last year, and so I'm liking it even more because that, and then it is so fun. It's great for new players. I went through the tutorial because you have to. It shows you everything like visually, like this arrow over here. This is what hits this, and then this hits this, and that's why that happens. And you're like, well, obviously I know, but for somebody new, it's like it's right there. There's no way you can miss it. And so they start giving you cards right away. And then you start playing, and I'm getting every 24 hours, Bobby. I'm getting a pre-constructed deck that comes with rares and what do you call it? Like what's the mythic rares? Yeah. So it comes with a mythic rare, 3 rares, a bunch of uncommons, like a solid deck. This pre-constructed deck could beat any deck any game. Obviously, a very good top tier deck is going to win 9 out of 10 times. But this pre-con deck, not bad, and could probably take down any deck every once in a while. You know what I mean? And they're good. And every 24 hours, you can unlock this by doing a shitty little quest that just requires you to play. What they did here is they realized how valuable people playing is, right? So they just want you there playing game after game. So the rewards for playing are, I think, like so worth it. First of all, playing is fun. Like super. There's no grindiness because I'm having a blast. And then on top of that, they're giving you gold, which you can actually play drafts with that gold. And I'm getting a lot of gold. I think I'm a better than average player. So like today I went like 18-2. So I'm just getting gold like crazy. They put a cap on it. It's 15 games. You win 15 games, and then that's it. They won't pay you anymore. But
15 games a day.
Yeah, but you're paid to play. You can play after that. You're just not going to get gold and experience. So it's like a lot of other games. You're unlocking things as you gain experience, but you can get the game pass and double that. I'm like, my 5th day in this. I have 5 decks unlocked. And so I started paying. I paid only to support this company because I think they made a really great product.
Or a multi-billion-dollar company.
Yeah. They needed my $20, so I got the season pass for $20. I really like the set, so I'm going to be around. So how long are sets around generally? 3 years.
So
legal.
The way they've been doing it, they've changed it. The way they've been doing it is that there's no more blocks. There's only individual sets like this.
Okay.
So before it would be a block, and a block would have 3 sets in it.
Yeah.
And so, for example, there was a time where it was all about dragons, and there was 3 sets. 3 sets in that block, and that block would rotate after 2 or 3 years. But now the way it works is like, if I can remember correctly, when a new set comes in, the last set filters out unless there's like a certain amount of cards in that set, and then the last 2 sets fall out.
All right, we're getting in the weeds. I think about. But all I know is like this new set just came out, so these cards are going to be good for a long time, a couple years at least. And when we say good, we just mean in standard modern play. You can play extended and play all your cards from a long time ago.
And they actually have special events where you can play with like really, really old cards. We're talking like 10-year plus old cards. And those are fun. Like the game really, so if you're an actual modern player, you play Magic the Gathering online. But if you want to get into like new shit, you play Magic the Gathering Arena. And Arena has so many things to keep you going. Emilio, to feed your addiction some more, by the way, there is a full Excel spreadsheet of nothing but codes to get you free cards and free packs.
I did that as well, dude. Well, I only did JP did. He sent me a list of about 10, but I'm hearing that there's more out there. So
yeah, so there's a bunch that you can do. The only thing you can't do is activate them for sets that are no longer standard. But like you can get like 3P packs of the new Xanathar set. Like you can get a bunch of other stuff. Like,
but you can get wild cards in those old packs too, which is great.
yes, exactly. So
And
that's the whole thing.
So let me talk
I
about
think,
wild cards. This is like
yeah, you're good.
This is like a great thing that they did. A lot of these games, these old games they used to do, you take multiples of cards you don't want, you burn them down, you make some sort of fairy dust, and you turn those into the cards that you want. But now you get these wild cards in the pack. That wild card, depending on its rarity, you can literally turn into whatever card you want. There is no burning and building. It's just like you get these wild cards, and that card, whatever rarity it falls in there, you can make that card. So building your perfect deck is not hard at all. You can probably, from my 1 week of play, I've made enough wild cards to probably make, I think, any deck out there that are like for tournament play, because I have like a mythic rare one. I have several rare ones. I have a bunch of uncommon ones. These cards can turn into whatever you want. So you can just literally go look up the top deck and just turn all those wild cards into the top deck out there if you wanted to. So, and for no extra money, this is just built into the game. And the other thing was that I wanted to talk about. Oh, as you unlock packs, because in the normal play, I've probably unlocked 8 packs, I would say, just by playing. And when you open those packs, not only is there a chance for a wild card in those packs, but you're gaining pack experience. And every time you open like 8 packs, you get 1 automatic wild card, or one. Every 4 packs, you get an automatic uncommon wild card. So no matter what, you're getting wild cards. They're coming in. Not like if you never spend any money, you can still make a killer deck. Like there's nothing wrong with this game. Zero. It's beautiful. UI couldn't be better. Like I don't know where they could improve really, except for maybe I can't tell how many lands I have sometimes. But it works on mobile pretty well. Yeah, 10 out of 10 in my book.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's honestly great. The one thing that I don't like about it, or / really, really do like about it, is the way drafts work. So if you get a certain amount of wins in a draft, you get to play another draft. So like, it's like every other game that's trying to what is it called, monetize now. Essentially, every time you play, you get gold, but there's also the premium currency, which is gems. And so there are people that are addicted to drafting, and drafting is like an actual, like there's a whole subreddit for drafting where like there are must draft cards and all these other things like that, and it's really just a gambling thing. But like Emilio said, there's really something for everybody in this, and if you like card games in this.
Well, this is the card game, the original card game. Everything you play is all based on Magic the Gathering. A draft, very quickly, is every character. There's 8 players in a draft. Each character gets 3 packs. You open a pack. You select 1 card for a temporary deck, and then you pass it to whatever direction. And then somebody else passes you theirs with 1 card less, and you do this repeatedly until that pack is gone. Then you open a new pack. You rotate the other way, counterclockwise. And at the end of it, you have 40 cards. You add land to that, and now you have a deck. And then you play the other people. If you win that, Nick is telling me, I haven't done it yet, Nick. You get a token to get into a new draft, I'm guessing?
No, you don't get a token. You get enough gems to buy another draft, and then even if you win more after that, you get like extra gems. So essentially, people who think they're really good, aka my dumbass, will keep drafting to get certain cards, and like if I win, I essentially just play on the same $10 I put in or $5 I put in.
But even if you're terrible, you get to keep all those 3 packs of cards that you drafted.
Yes.
But
yes.
Another thing, like I'm talking like kind of deep magic here, but people would rare draft, right? So you open a pack, you play draft.
Oh, I hate drafting.
You just take the best cards for your personal collection. Fuck the game. And that's rare drafting, right? But it doesn't really behoove you here because you're getting you have the wild cards. You can build whatever you
can
want.
still do that. But the thing is, it also changes now. So in real life play, you only pay against the homies that you're drafting with. And usually it's it's a group of 8 people. And so like, Tim is probably running a green deck because he's picking all the fucking green cards because you're noticing all the packs that you're getting have no green cards in it. And fucking Leslie has a blue deck, and so you can kind of work around the people with you. But in this, you draft with 8 people, and then you play random people on the internet. So they're still.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And so people have some absurd decks because like the people they're drafting with don't have any clue what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
But
drafting it's an art form, really. For you to be able to know what everybody else is doing, it's like playing poker. The same people win every year, or the same top people. It's something like that. Like there's definitely a lot to it. I'm not very good at it, so but 10 out of 10, love it.
Yeah, it's great.
JP Diddy's getting into it too. Actually, it was him who told me to go play it.
I'll play with you, and I'll play with Diddy too. So.
He said we should take some packs to DLG Con and do a draft, which totally down. But we need people to be able to play. So this is a great place to learn how to play. Bobby, you gonna try it out?
Maybe.
It's free, Bobby. It's free.
Yeah, I might check it out. See how much I remember.
You don't need to remember it. The tutorial's great.
Yeah, the tutorial is pretty amazing, actually.
Yep.
All right, Nick, you've been playing some Battlefield 1?
Yeah, after watching the Battlefield Portal thing and the other Battlefield thing, I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna hop into Battlefield. I don't like playing the World War II one, just because there's a lot of things that people spam, and the World War one is kind of more balanced. One thing that I've noticed, still there's quite a few people playing this. Second thing is, there are quite a bit of hackers. I would say 1 in every 3 games I played, and I only played about 10 games. So in about 3 out of those 10 games, there was a clear hacker. Like this person would be in the rear seat of the one of the airplanes that has like a gunner in the back, and the pilot would be flying and like tilting the gun sideways. And the guy would just be mowing people down instantaneously. Like there was no room for error. And like the guy would have like 110 kills and like 2 deaths maybe.
That's
but
unfortunate.
it's still fun. And the reason why a lot of people like Battlefield 1 is because it's not wacky, but it's a little bit slower paced than all the other Battlefields. Because everybody has like bolt action rifles or like doo-doo fucking SMGs and stuff.
I remember really liking the map with the train, the broken down train. Or does it break down during? Isn't there these like mega vehicles?
Mega units, yeah. There's like the dreadnought, and then there's like the armored train, and then there's like a bunch of I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. It added a mechanic. Anyway, I liked Battlefield 1. I'm not sure why I stopped playing it. Maybe because everybody else stopped playing it.
It's probably that because everybody,
Yeah. Like you said, after the first month, 40% of the players leave.
Yeah, it's a pretty crazy number if I remember correctly. Like the amount of people that stop playing any game, really, after the first month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I got a hot sauce. It's good. You should buy it.
Is it
Yeah.
new or is it the same seedy shit that you sent me?
It's the same cheaty shit that I sent you.
Hey, I will say, it's very good on rice.
I'm glad that you think it's good on rice. It's good on a bunch of other stuff too. It's called Inseedious. You can go to Inseedious.com and order it. If you put the promo code DLG, you'll get 10% off your entire order. We got two different varieties. We got medium. If you look at it, it looks super hot because it looks like a bunch of chili seeds. But no, it's filled with a bunch of other kind of seeds. 6 different kind of seeds. And it's oil-based hot sauce. The closest thing I could relate it to is kind of like at a Chinese joint, you might get like that oil-based hot sauce you put on your stuff. It's kind of like that, but a Mexican flavor version of that. You haven't had any. If you haven't had Inseedious, you haven't had anything like it before. Take a look at the website. Christian actually helped us out with that. That's why it has these weird colors. And
I think it looks great.
Yeah. It's good. It's very good. Very savory, umami. Think umami with a little bit of heat. And the fire. This is actually, I'm not just saying this. This is probably one of the best batches, if not the best batch we've ever made. So I'm pretty happy about that.
So one thing that has to do with this a little bit. So I have been growing ghost pepper plants, and I have about probably 20 peppers going to be ready for harvest in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I'm looking to pickle them and then send them to you guys. And what we'll do, if the viewers want to see this, I will eat a raw one, the whole thing, and all you guys have to eat is just one ring, and we'll see what happens.
I'll eat a whole one.
Okay. Because like I said, I've been growing these and I've been tending these things every fucking day, and it's been super fun. And so I wanted to share it with somebody and trying to make a bit of it. So.
Bobby has an extreme adverse reaction to extremely hot stuff. So
I'll try a little bit, clear out the sinuses.
Oh, speaking of sinuses, what happened with your nasal rinse?
Oh,
I'll be right back.
Yeah, didn't really go well. Well, I did it wrong. Apparently, you're not supposed to lean your head back, so I've got water in my brain now.
Did you do a neti pot? Is that what you did?
All the way in my brain.
No, it was like one of these ones where you like squirt it up there.
Oh,
yeah, it's pretty much like a neti pot, though. Yeah. All right. Before we get into listener questions, shout out to Epic Tryhard Face subscribing for 22 months on Twitch. Thank you very much. Almost at that 2-year mark.
Nice.
All right. And then also we got SM Jeff at 19 months. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. And one more quick announcement. We've got movie nights twice a month where the community hangs out and watches a movie on Discord. We're looking for volunteers to host those. And also we're trying to get some game nights going too. So if you are interested in that, then you can hit up Tag Loro on Discord or message any of us, really. All right.
Yeah.
Let's get to some listener questions here. First one's for Emilio, so we'll wait until he gets back. We'll go with this one. Tagloro asks, what indie games that haven't got sequels are you surprised about? I would have expected Octodad to get a sequel by now. Me too, really. Where's the Octodad sequel? Wasn't that game stuck in development for like 10 years? It was like there was a beta version of it out for like a decade before the actual version came out.
Yeah, and the way they did it is that like every time there was a new patch, there was a new level. And it just got weirder and weirder. But to me, like it stayed in development, like you said, for a very long time.
Yeah, it was one guy or a very small team working on that.
Yeah.
But the finished product, when it went on Steam, I didn't play it when it was in that early version of it. But when it came out on Steam, man, I loved that game. The theme song, the levels, the story, like I thought it was all great.
Have you ever played Octodad multiplayer where you have somebody come over your house and you try to play on the same keyboard?
I think I have played that where if you play multiplayer, someone controls like the right leg and the left arm or something like that.
Body.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that can be fun. Maybe we've all just moved on from Fumblecore. I don't know if that's a thing anymore. But sequels indie games that have not gotten their sequels.
This is weird. Zap asked that question, not Tech Laura. That's weird that says that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I commented on it. That's why I know. But anyway,
Well, there's some games out there that I would think it would have gotten a sequel, but they've kind of supported it and added DLC, like Dead Cells. That came out 2017, I want to say. Incredibly popular.
Yeah.
No sequel, but they have added DLCs. Plus, I think it came out in early access, and they finished developing it at some point, or they added a lot to the game.
And every other DLC is free, I believe. So, it's an active. It's a supported game, so it's hard to say sequel.
I'm a little surprised we haven't seen an Undertale 2.
Yeah.
I think they're working on that.
I had heard that.
I thought they were.
But maybe the kid that made it, he got a bunch of cocaine money and blew his life away. Who knows?
I say this with an open heart. I wish that they cranked out another Hades as soon as possible. Whether it be like a 1.5 or a 2, they should have rode that fucking train as hard as they could, because that game's so good.
Does that studio do sequels? What studio is that? They made Bastion.
Supergiant.
Supergiant.
Yeah.
I don't think they've made a sequel.
I don't think they've ever made one. They, I almost every game that they make grows off of the last one that you make. Like you can. It's one of those things, almost like Bobby, you talked about the other day with directors. You can see past influences in their older movies and how they build up to this, crescendo of a movie or whatever. And that's what I feel like Supergiant. Like every game gets a little bit better and takes a little things that they learned from the last one and put it into the new one. So yes, Hades would be fantastic, Hades 2, but I feel like they're going to learn what they, stuff they learned from there and just make another better game later. Pyre was a little weird. It was the only one that was kind of like an offshoot, but they were trying shit, which is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only other game I can think of, maybe Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight 2, where's that at? Because that game came out 2018.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
I mean, I only say this now because I know that Cyberpunk had the release that it had, but I would have taken a Witcher 4 over a Cyberpunk. If you presented both to me at the same time, I'd be like, yeah, Cyberpunk. But now knowing that it is what it is, I would have taken Witcher 4.
Well, I think the reason we don't see a whole lot of sequels in indie games is because it's usually very small teams, sometimes one person working on a game.
Yeah.
Whereas your Battlefields or Call of Duties or Assassin's Creed, huge studios, and by the time they release one, they're already working on the next one. Yeah. They're just cranking them out.
Keep making money.
All right. Let's go back to our first question here. This is from JP Diddy, directed towards Emilio.
Perfect.
Emilio, have you considered taking prostate medication to help with your urination frequency and seminal discharge amounts?
It's a very strange thing, dude. I've said it before, but it begs to be reiterated. I don't piss a lot in normal life. It's just when I'm doing the podcast for some reason. I don't know what it is. It's like, I think maybe it's a mental thing, but I start thinking about the pee and then I can't, and it grows and grows. And now I'm thinking about dick. And I'm not thinking about game like I should. I'm like, I gotta go fucking clean the slate so I can start over, basically. I start to obsess about how much I have to pee. It's super weird. And I get antsy and then I gotta go. So I don't know what to tell you guys. I got to go to the jungles of Nicaragua and do ayahuasca and reset my brain.
Clean the slate. All right.
We have a listener question from the chat. By the way, we stream these. If you listen to this podcast for who knows how long and you didn't know that we're on Twitch as well, we are on Twitch. Not a ton of people show up, but they are hardcore and they support the show. So that's another way you can watch us. Anyway, Cricket Soldier asked what I'm sipping on today, and it was straight whiskey, and now I'm on a vodka and soda water. Yeah, just because I forgot that I was doing whiskey. So there we go.
All right. Warconius says, rank these 5 publishers based on the games they've released in 2020, 2021. Activision Blizzard, EA, Take-Two, Ubisoft, and Square Enix. So we rate them on the games they've released. Has EA released anything this year?
No.
Can you compile a list for us, Christian, and then we'll get back to
This should have came with an Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah. We'll come back to this one once maybe he gets something that we can look at.
EA, I don't think EA has released anything. Take-Two, that's
Squadrons, right? Star Wars Squadrons.
Is that in the last 2 years? Okay. Yeah, maybe that one.
And the other Star Wars Fallen Order?
It was like 2019, but it was
Was it?
close. Yeah, it was at the end of 2019. All right. Take-Two had Borderlands 3, XCOM Chimera Squad. Do they have XCOM 2, I think?
Yeah, but that was a long time ago.
Okay, well, Chimera Squad, definitely.
Sure.
Borderlands 3. It's not bad. Blizzard, Activision, so Call of Duty. I don't know, probably some other stuff. Square Enix. Okay, so that's like your Final Fantasy games, that Nier Automata game.
Part 2 came out.
Yeah.
Not huge years for any of them.
No, not really. I feel like all we get from these big AAA companies is announcements and not usually games.
An occasional sequel.
Yeah.
And that's about it. New IPs from AAAs are super expensive and thus very rare.
Yeah, I mean, every single one of these developers I'm not really a huge fan of, but I would say Square Enix at the top. Ubisoft, so Assassin's Creed. What else? I don't know.
They've made like 2 in the last 2 years, I think. They did Valhalla and they did that other one, the one in Greece.
Yeah, I don't know how great that was.
They're all equal. They all suck, man. Support indie developers.
Yeah. All right. Kurt the Ape says, thinking about we got a subscription from Lowlight, 16 months. Awesome, man.
Thanks, homie.
Thank you.
It's quite a bit of time.
All right. Kurt the Ape says, thinking about revisiting Darkest Dungeon before the sequel comes out. Did you guys have the same experience I had where I felt I had to have the wiki open while playing? It took me out of the game. Have you had this experience with the game?
The funny thing about Binding of Isaac is even me with like over 1,000 hours, because of the new items and stuff, I have a wiki on the second screen almost all the time. I don't always use it. I could go 2-3 games without using it, but there'll be an item. Yeah, there'll be an item selection like door A or door B. I'm like, I don't know which one's better, so I'll look them both up and I'll see, okay, this is better for my current run or whatever. So that happens a lot. And that's since day one with Binding of Isaac, because I believe there was 200 items in the first Binding of Isaac. And it's always been part of the game, and it sounds like a chore, and I suppose it is, but why the popularity then? Like, I'm definitely not going to say that I enjoy going and looking things up, but I'm not going to say that I hate it, because look at me, 1,000 hours of this shit, doing fucking research on a video game. Nick, do you find it it's not enjoyable, right? Or what is it? Or it's just part of the game?
Well, you don't have to play the game like that.
There are certain games where I like have to have the wiki open. Binding of Isaac is not one of them.
Oh, fuck off, dude. Oh, you haven't played Repentance, that's why.
I probably will once Repentance comes out. I'm like, what the fuck does this do? Like, if there's 2 items in a room, I'm like, there's mom's knife, and then there's this weird thing. I don't know what the fuck. I'm gonna look it up. But I tend to, in my own personal like video game playing, I will try to avoid looking up something in the wiki, unless it's like a puzzle that is taking me an hour and it shouldn't. Maybe I'll look something up, but I try to stay away from outside influence.
Nick, let me. So I got a message from Flying Hawaiian, and he said, "This was the video. It was a 2 to 3 second video." He said, "This is what I feel like when I think about Emilio," and he shot his shot with his Isaac. Nick, I'm going to tell you what he had, and you're going to tell me what I saw. So he had brimstone.
Okay.
He had soy milk, and he had the dog's body. I forget the dog's name. Yeah. So what do you think it looked like when he shot?
Man, that is bonkers.
Yeah.
Did he shoot a bunch of little brimstones after it split?
No, it immediately split from his eyes, but it was white because it was almond milk. Oh, it was almond milk.
Almond milk. Okay.
Yeah. So it looked like cum, basically, is what he was telling me. He's like, this is what happens when I think about Emilio. And it was like splooging all over the place, dude. And he's like, these are the 3 items that I had. It's fucking crazy. But I was testing his Nick's knowledge right now on by the name of Isaac.
Yeah.
Splooge.
Well, you told me the wrong fucking item. You said
My
soy
bad.
milk.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 1.5. You know, I had this specific problem with Darkest Dungeon, the same one that Kurt is experiencing here. When I got later into the game of Darkest Dungeon, I started relying on the wiki a lot more. And I think it was because I had spent so much time building up my characters, I was very, very afraid of losing them and doing something stupid where they would die. And yeah, it's not fun when you play a game like that. You feel like you're doing more work, and it's not very satisfying because you feel like you're kind of cheating the system. But it almost kind of puts you into that position because you're so afraid to fail.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I try to play games without doing that, but it happens.
What are you looking up, Bobby? Are you looking up how to beat certain characters?
Like strengths and weaknesses of characters.
Of your characters or the enemies?
Yeah, of enemies or of... Because you run into certain characters in certain areas. So if you go to like the bog or something, then you're going to run into these types of characters and you want to take a certain pack.
Yeah.
But there is a lot of stuff to learn about the game too. And I don't know, maybe I didn't do as good of a job of doing that when I first played the game, because I found a combo that worked for me and I really just ran that for a long time. I didn't experiment much, which, you really should do in a game
Your
like
same
that.
crew just dominated the game?
I had a pretty tight roster. I had a really big roster. It was full, but my prime characters, there was maybe like 6 or 8 of them. I had like 2 teams basically.
Yeah. Team A, Team B.
All right. Last question from Warconius. He says, is Chad responsible for this? Did he ruin Blizzard? And this is referring to the article that recently came out on Kotaku about Activision Blizzard being sued over their frat boy workplace culture. Did you guys hear about this or read the article?
No.
I heard about it.
Okay, perfect. Then classic DLG. All right, let's give our uninformed opinion. Now, I read the Kotaku article. It's everything. The title pretty much says it all. So they're being sued over a lot of specifically outlined things that happened at Blizzard that they say is creating a hostile work environment for women and minorities. And of course, Activision Blizzard has countered all this with their lawyers saying like, no, none of this is actually true and this and that. I don't know. We'll see what happens with it. But yeah, man, it seems like we get one of these stories every couple times a year now in the in the world of gaming.
I feel like it's happening in all companies, but because this is what we pay attention to, this is what we hear,
Well, I think because a lot of the things that they mention in the article, they mention like the mistreatment of the women and minorities, but then they always mention while other workers were allowed to hang out and play video games. So
right.
because I think that I've never worked for a gaming company before, but there probably is a really weird gray area between work and play
Yeah.
at one of those places.
And I would imagine, like, if you like video games, you're going to sign up for the video game stuff all the time. And, you know, if there's like a video game playing session or something to do with playing, you're going to be there. And then those people that are not interested in it, I'm not saying these people, I'm just saying sometimes if you don't sign up for it, if it's not your interest to go and play a tournament, an intercompany tournament, and then be like, you have to work the whole time that these people were playing this tournament. Was it your fault because you didn't sign up?
Right. They didn't mention any tournaments or anything.
I know, but they do have those things inside of Blizzard. I know. I have inside.
Inside knowledge.
But besides, with that, every time I like read some big like Blizzard stuff, I'm like, "Hey, Chad, what about it?" He's like, "No, everything's fine. Like, there's not."
Well, it's such a big company because
Yeah.
it's Activision Blizzard. First of all, I mean, it's a huge company. I think it's pretty easy to not notice what's happening in certain areas or what may be, you know, in the newspapers.
Yeah.
The modern times, huh?
I'm gonna tell a story. So last night, we had a raccoon in the backyard. Not an uncommon occurrence. We have rodents and all kinds of shit. We live near a big valley, so all kinds of shit comes up all the time, coyotes and stuff. And so anyway, Jocko, my dog, is like fighting with the raccoon, and the raccoon's on the fence, and there's a whole like hissing fit, and Jocko's, you know, doing his job. Our cats are just becoming outdoor cats, so they're like exploring a little more every day. They go out a little further. One of our cats comes back to this chaos, like rah, the fucking, you know, craziness. So the cat is like, "Fuck this shit! I'm gonna go up this tree," and goes 30 feet up a pine tree, way, way up there, and the craziness is over. Sam goes outside, and she's like, "Cat's 30 feet in the air," and I'm like, "Yeah." Yeah, this is that thing that happens, right? Because I see it in cartoons and I've seen it in like TV shows and stuff, and I'm like, why don't they just climb the tree? This is a pine tree, and they cut all the lower branches because that's just what the city does, so people don't climb. I don't know why they do it, but you can't climb it for the first fucking 20 feet. There's nothing, and then there's branches. So this cat's up there, meow, 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 for 24 hours, dude, nonstop. I had an extension ladder. I don't have it anymore. Even if I had one, I think they're only 20 feet, not 30 feet. So this thing is way in the fucking sky. And I'm like, we'll figure it out in the morning. It's like 1 a.m. right now. Like, it's not the time to deal with this. He's a cat. If he falls, like, I'm pretty sure he'll be okay. So I wake up in the morning, totally forgot about the situation, but meow, meow, poor thing. So I go outside, and there's a crowd of people in my backyard around this tree trying to figure out how to get this cat down. They're on their cell phones. They're pointing. They're yelling at my dog because they think that my dog chased the cat up, but that's not the case. But you can't really like. So they get out, get back. And so I go out there, and they're like, "Is this your cat?" And I was like, "Yeah." And this is my dog. I put the dog away. I was like, "Guys, thank you very much. I'll take care of this." And so I had just
get off my fucking lawn.
Yeah, and I'd been drinking the whole night before. Like, I'm trying to get my shit together, and the cat jumps, and he hits some branches on the way down, and and he lands, and he's fine. He's 100% fine. He just finally, we had to like coax him to jump down. I don't know what the option was. Like, what do you do? We looked it up on the internet. It says the fire department will not come get your cat. That is not a thing that they do. Even though they're literally 800 feet from where we were. Yeah, I'm not going to call them for that. So luckily the cat grew enough balls, which we cut off, to actually come down, and he's good.
Wow.
I don't get how, like, so I have a really weird mind, and I think one of the funniest things in the world is a cat with like a cast on. Because how the fuck did you break your hand?
Yeah, you're a
or
cat.
like your legs as a cat.
Yeah.
And like you're that bad of a cat.
Yeah, you're a bad cat. If you got a broken cat leg, you're a bad cat. That's for damn sure.
And so yeah, it always makes me laugh when I see it. I'm just like, oh, you're a terrible cat.
What are you guys playing next week?
Next week,
Magic the Gathering Arena, Bobby?
I don't know, maybe
For free?
Hey, maybe I'll check it out.
I have to play Battle Sector, which is that Warhammer 40K Blood Angels game. It's downloaded, so.
And then our game of the week is on Bobby. He's going to get back to us.
Yeah.
So you'll know next week what our game of the week is. And for me, guys, I'm like hard addicted to Magic the Gathering right now. I'm having a really good time.
Oh, jeez.
But besides that, yeah, Life is Strange 2 is really calling out to me. Yeah. And so I'll say those two, and none of that will happen. Speaking for Bobby, Christian, Nick, and myself, magical titties, guys. Bring.
How do you guys feel about changing to YouTube for streaming?
I'd be down with it.